Okay, so Vibes came about. I actually was recording since my last project of last year of April. So April of last year actually. So it's been about a year. I've been doing a lot of recording in LA, Atlanta, New York, and Philly as well. So I was just going off the vibe of my surroundings, the area that I was in, the producers that I was working with, and the project actually has a specific vibe to it. And I let my fans tell me what that vibe is, but that was everybody's feedback, like, yo, this joint got a vibe. So I came up with the title. I've been in a good zone, a good space, a good vibe, and positive things has been happening for me. So I went off the whole positive vibe thing. And I feel like this project entails all of that. Everything around me has been going well, and the music has been dope. And I've been working with a lot of dope producers. So the vibe just was there, and I just was feeling like, okay, let's name this project Vibes because it gives you a vibe. I've been in a good space, in a good zone, in a good vibe. So I wanted to put my audience in a good vibe as well. Okay, so one of my graphic designers and I actually sat down, and it was like, where do you want to go with the cover art? And I basically told him, like, let's do some pretty colors. Like, I feel like my previous projects, the artwork for it, didn't have a lot of color to it. So I was like, let's do some pretty colors. We did the shoot. The shoot was like pretty dope. I had a lot of props with it. So we chose from like 20 different pictures. We came up with the picture together. I feel like it was simple. It showed my face. It was pretty. It was sexy. It gave it the sex appeal. And I have some of those type of records on this project. And then the colors he actually chose. And it was like, I want to kind of paint you where you like cute, you sexy, but you got this tomboy thuggish thing about you. So let's do a lot of pink, purple, and blue. And the gray just topped everything off. Yes, there was a lot of significance. July 12th was the premiere of Sisterhood of Hip Hop Season 3. So I figured let's drop a project the day before that so everybody will have something fresh and new to go listen to once they go search Lee Mays, and for the people who didn't know who I was prior to the show. So once the show come out, I got a brand new project that matches that as well. And then it was like perfect timing because before I even agreed to do the show, I was actually recording for this project. So it just was like perfect timing. Most of my projects, all of my previous project has a minimum of 20 records on it. And I feel like that's way too much music, especially for how fast-paced the music industry is moving today. You want people to be able to grasp and wrap their mind around your project. So the initial aim was to put 10 records. But once we got down to chopping off records, I have a whole lot of music. It kind of got hard, so then we leaned towards 12. And then once we got down to the last day of picking, it was like the 13 that we picked. We just couldn't cut anymore, so that's how I wound up with 13 records. My manager and I. Yes, it actually semi-tells a story. So it starts off with Ego, and Ego, once we recorded the record, my producer, Rico, the producer who produced that particular record, it was like, we never had, when we were creating it, we never intended for it to be the intro. But once it was done and the bars was there and the music came all the way together, it was like, yo, this sounds like a dope record to come out to a show to. So it was like, okay, well, since we're looking at it like an intro to a performance, let's make this the intro to the tape. So that started off with Ego. And then it kind of flows. It gives you that, I got the bounce to it. Some of the melodic records are thrown strategically throughout, and then towards the end I give you that sexy vibe, and then the last two records is straight like kind of like the trap sound and then like bars. So it's kind of like a flow to it, and I kind of wanted it to have that vibe, and that's where I got the name from also. Okay, well, since I started off with Ego is a dope record. It's like as signifying my flow. I'm from Philly, so I'm giving you bars, I'm giving you flow. And then there's the hook is actually referenced by Simone, who is like a very, very dope speaker. And you can hear what she's talking about is very relevant to what I'm going through musically. And basically having fans, people that look up to you and not giving up because of them. And you can hear her talk about that all throughout. So I thought that was really dope. That record is stand out to me. The Wave is actually a dope record also because it's just got a vibe to it. It's a really dope, and as soon as it comes on, the beat grabs you from the beginning. The bars is there. It's a very fun record. 12 Rounds is very, very sexy. And I recorded that record actually here in Atlanta. And it has some significance to it because it was actually a situation that I was involved in at the time that made me do the record. But it's like, it gives you that old school R&B sexy feel. And I feel like that's really dope because that's kind of missing in today's music. So I feel like that's a very, very, very dope record. I Look Good. It's getting a lot of attention, a lot of traction, because everybody feels like they look good, especially when girls, we do our makeup, we get dressed, you in the mirror, you can play this song while you're getting dressed, you're getting ready, do your Snapchats to it. So I feel like that's a very dope record off of the album. Around the Way Girl is probably getting the most respect, and that's because I'm straight spitting bars, what everybody knows me for. And then I feel like that's most comfortable to me, because it's like I'm an Around the Way girl where I grew up at. It's like I like to go back sometimes and just feel normal and regular. And the hook, the ending bridge / hook in that record tells all of that. It's like, I'm just a girl from around the way, but I got these bars and y'all know what I came here to do. So that's some of my favorites off of the project. This project, actually, outside of maybe 4 records, was done in like a week. And I think that's a very interesting fact. So it wasn't rushed. It was actually strategically put together, but we went in like locked in for like 7 days straight. No sleep. We wasn't coming out until we got this done. We were actually running out of time. We were late. We were missing deadlines because we were doing so much with the show, shooting. I had so many performances and a lot of things going on. So we actually was like, yo, we got to lock in these 7 days and get this project done. And that's exactly what we did.